Back to you. Let's begin from there. Listening to them, I see two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other, a vice circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. So, what's spoken of here? Listening to them, listening to their thoughts, having heard them, she got to know of the two distinct worlds, two clear worlds that existed there in Firozabad. Two distinct worlds, two clear worlds. One of the family, the first world is of the family caught in a web of poverty. The first world is that of the families caught in the web, caught in the net of sahukars and all. That is the web of poverty, burden by the stigma of caste in which they are born. First is the poverty. Families leading their life in poverty. Second is the stigma they tag upon them that they were born or they are born to the family of bangle makers, so they cannot do any other work. So this stigma, old pattern thought, a, a disgrace, a blemish, say old pattern thought that since you're born in the caste of bangle makers, so you cannot come out of this and you cannot do some other work. So this thought and the poverty thought of the people, poverty that they are born in. The other, a vice circle of the Sahukar. The first world is that of the people, the family that are caught in the net of the Sahukars and all, that are born in a poor family and burdened by the stigma, burdened by the old thought that they cannot come out of it since they are born in the family of the bangle makers. Since they are born in the family of bangle makers, so they cannot do some other work. So this is one world. Second world is that of the other, a vices circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politician. And the second world is that of the rich people, the able-bodied people, the sahukars, the money lenders, the middlemen, involved in this work, those who buy their goods at cheap rate and sell them at very high prices. The policemen, the keepers of law, advocates and all, the bureaucrats, the official people, high official people, like the secretary level people, the IS and IPS and all, the bureaucrats and the politicians above all. And this is the second world that exists there. If we talk about Firozabad and the people involved in bangle making and glass industry, together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. And together these people, the other world, people from the other world, have put on a baggage, have put on a burden on the child that is born in the family, and he cannot put them down. He can put this burden, this baggage down. Before he is aware, he accepts it as naturally as his father. And before he is aware, before he becomes adult and he becomes aware of the situation, he by that time he already accepts the reality as the parents as his parents have accepted them, and also how this burden is imposed, since these young ones, the children, are also involved in this work, bangle making. They are forced into this work, so they start doing, and later they accept it as part of their life. To do anything else would mean to dare, and in such situation where the interest of the other world is attached with you, in such situation you cannot dare, you cannot challenge, or you cannot dare, you cannot challenge them. And daring is not part of his growing up, and daring, challenging these people, this world, and their power is not part of their growing up. They cannot even think of challenging them. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. And when I find a flash of it, a light of it, a brightness of it in the eyes of Mukesh, the author gets cheered up. The author gets quite excited and she becomes quite happy. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He will go to a garage and learn. So, he repeats the same thing. I want to be a motor mechanic, and that I will go to a garage and learn it. So he's firm, he's resolute, he is bent upon learning. He is bent upon being a motor mechanic, learning to repair the cars and other vehicles. Uh, but the garage is a long way from his home. I will walk, he insists. He says, the author says, oh, say the garage is a long way from there. It's far away from his home, but he insists. He repeats and firmly repeats that I will walk up to a garage, because they are born in poor families, and their parents cannot afford them the fare, bus fare, and all. So he says, I will walk all the way to reach a garage. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground. And when asked if he also dreams of flying a plane, the author asks this question, he is suddenly silent. He 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 doesn't respond to this question. He just stares at the ground and says no. In his small murmur, in his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. In his small murmur, the small whisper that no, I don't want to fly a plane. I don't dream of flying a plane. In his answer, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. There is embarrassment, uneasiness, discomfort at answering the question of flying a plane, but this embarrassment, this uneasiness has not yet turned into a regret. I thought that I thought that the the decision the decision made was wrong. That has not yet come up in his mind. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. He is content, he is satisfied dreaming of cars because he often finds cars hurtling, moving with great speed down the streets of his town. He finds a lot of vehicles, a lot of cars hurtling, moving with great speed down the streets of Firozabad. So he's happy dreaming of cars. A few airplanes fly over Firozabad, though a few airplanes fly over Firozabad, but he is not dreaming. He is not dreaming of the planes. He is that shows that he is very much realistic. He is not his dream is not something like you say a castle built in air. It's not a castle built in air. It's a dream based on reality, based on the facts, so that can easily be achieved. Thank you.